Hi there guys, Irene here with another video. And guys, you know how life is so hard after university. That's something they don't really tell you when you're in university, but you find out the hard way after you're done with university. This applies to everywhere else in the world, but since I'm in Africa, I'll be using this video to just shine some light on our experience here after university and share some tips that I've learned along the way, because it's now been 2 years since my graduation. So what pushed me to actually make this video is my sister, my younger sister, is currently going through the same situation I was in about 2 years ago, where she's finished university last year, December. She graduated in March, early March this year, but since January she's been trying to get a job. Actually since last year, towards the end of last year, she's been trying to get a job both in South Africa and back home in Uganda, and still nothing. And that is the frustration that people find themselves in after university. She got an engineering degree like myself, but still, even with a good degree, what people consider a good degree, you still struggle to get a job after university. So that's a frustration that a lot of people face all over, I think all over the world, because I watch a bunch of videos of other people in the US, the UK, facing similar issues. So before I get into the tips that I'll be sharing in this video, I just want to share my story. So I finished my degree, and I finished that degree in 2014. And before finishing the degree, my second last year, I amped my development skills because I wanted to kind of explore that field. I started developing this app. It's a mobile application where, of course, I like TV, so I made it about TV, series recommends, TV, movies recommends, and YouTube channels that people could watch. So yes, I managed to bag myself some interviews, but you know, when it's your first, I think I got like 2, and I was so excited. That's the thing, when you're starting out with these interview processes, in a way you see yourself as very special. Like, who could pass on the opportunity to employ me? Especially if you feel like you've sacrificed a lot to get your degree, you're in late nights, you're getting decent degree points, degree marks in your subjects, you're kind of pushing it along. You kind of feel like you're not an accomplished soldier where you wear your scars on in your mind. And there's this thing of where if you just start an interview process, you feel that uniqueness, you feel like you have a lot to offer to other companies. But the harsh reality is very few people actually get their first set of interviews. So hence my first and second interview rejections kind of hit me so hard. It actually took me a few days to recover, because I could feel to myself, I felt that I did well in the interview. I felt like confident. I don't know what was lacking, but obviously for example, if you're in a foreign country and you're a foreigner like South Africa, they also consider that if you don't have a work permit, so also that played to my disadvantage. So in a way I was so hard. In the midst of my heart, I decided to just push with my application that I was developing. It was a Android application, and I pushed hard and I focused on that just to get that right. So come to the end of the year, I've been applying. I think I stepped up my application game towards the end of the year. That's about November. Then from November, December, I kept pushing out applications. I think honestly, before I got the job that I was to get, I sent out at least 100 applications. Come graduation day, that's in about February, towards the end of February, I'd been pushing before in terms of jobs, trying to get something. I was not getting anything. It was just word block after word block, but I kept on pushing. I think in that whole year and then whole new year, I secured about 6 interviews, but I still got nothing. And most of them, either they let you progress to close to the finishing step, and then you just receive a call. I see that you have a passport and hence you're not South African, so unfortunately we can't continue. Then you hear another one. I see that you do not have a work permit, blah 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 blah. So it was word block after word block. So what helped me was towards the end of December, when I saw I was not getting anything, I put in my application for my MBA. And MBA was always in my horizon, though I thought I'll do it much later on, but I ended up getting accepted into the university. Hence I could come back now to South Africa but at that point I was still on a part-time kind of study. I think around that whole new year, I started to employ a different strategy to my applications. Instead of going to the usual job ad sites, Indeed, or even LinkedIn, or all this stuff, and just look out for any graduate opportunities or junior level opportunities in the software development realm or business analysis. At that point, I was open to anything as long as it was in the tech space, because that's something I was really interested in. I'm still really interested in that. What my strategy was, I figured out where I wanted to work location wise. I was quite open, but I wanted either Cape Town or Johannesburg because my university is in Cape Town. What I did, I went to Google. Google is your best friend always. I typed in software development companies in Cape Town, and what I did, I started going to all their individual sites, going to the contact section. Most times you see career section is empty, they don't have any opportunities, but what I did, I went to the contact section of all those companies that I saw listed. I kind of started to target smaller companies because I found that big companies were just so hard to get in. So hence I went to smaller companies. I started typing my letter inquiring if they have any opportunities for graduates or juniors in software development. I emailed, and to my surprise, most of them did respond. I think because I contacted them through the website, and hence someone always reads those emails that come through from their website. Then lo and behold, yes, I had gotten a response before, but when the lady found out I didn't have a work permit, then I got lucky. Towards the end of April, I got a response back from this other company which I actually currently work for, and they responded and they scheduled. Actually, things happened so quick. You know what they say sometimes, if something is meant for you, like there's something about that process. It was so smooth. It happened quite faster than all these other processes in a way. I managed to bag an interview with the owner of the company, the manager of the company, then the HR the next day. Then in a few days, I got my offer of employment. I felt the sense of joy, a sense of relief that finally my patience, all my applications that never got answered, the interviews that I got rejected from, it finally paid off. I got some good news and I was excited. And then I started the job on the 1st of June, actually, specifically 1st of June. So it actually took me all that time since I finished my degree in December till I started the job on the first day, June. All that whole space to actually start my first job after university. To actually land the job was about 4.5 months of wait and doing a lot of stuff in between. So yes, that's my story, guys. So if you've gone through a similar situation, you know how hectic it can be, how frustrating it can be, but what matters is never ever give up. What you have to do is just change your strategies. Try this, try a different approach. If the normal job ads are not working out, cold email the company straight up from the websites. Show some interest in what they're doing. Like before you email, be like, I'm interested in this and I'm just looking for a graduate opportunity. And you honestly, if you don't see something coming, so which takes me to the tip that I'll give you guys. If you're in college or you're just finished college and you just want some good advice on how to navigate this life after university. That's something they don't tell us a lot. University is just all smooth sailing. The first thing I'd suggest is try to utilize all your vacations, all your holidays between semesters and get some work. Intern for free preferably, because some companies don't want to incur any cost. So just tell them, I'll work for free, I'll just shadow you, whatever you need me to do, I'll do, just for the sake of putting that on your CV. All those things add up, especially if it's a 4-year degree. Now imagine if you were working every holiday and getting experience of this, getting experience of this, getting experience of that. By the end of your 4 years, even 3 years, it's still decent. You will have a huge wealth of experience that many people may not have. And employers are looking for those things. Employers are looking for, what do you bring to the table? That's another thing we get wrong after getting our degrees. We think that our degree will sell itself, But you kind of have to show what you've done. What can you do? What are you going to add value to in my company? It's not just a one-way street. Because I know of someone who did that throughout the university, and by the end of college, by end of university, they were able to get into a senior position within 1 year because of all that experience they had gotten before. Kind of added up, and as well they had the thirst for what they were doing, hence they had gotten exposure in many different things. That's another thing. Expose yourself to many different things in your field. Open up your mind to this, so that your employers knows that you've actually had experience with this thing. They can trust you with this because you've seen it before, and they don't have to teach you from scratch. So that helps quite a lot. Number two is don't do just one thing. It kind of adds up to my first point of getting as much experience in between your holidays as possible, is try to get different experience kind of areas, because at that point you're free. You're not tied down to one company, you're not tied down to one field. So as long as in your career path, try to expose yourself to a lot of different things. And number three, try to do a personal project, especially if you're in the waiting phase before you get full-time employment after your school is done, because employers don't like to see gaps in your employment kind of realm. You kind of have to show them that during this time and this time I was doing this. You're learning this, you're learning that, which they could thereafter put into their company and grow with you. Then the fourth point is send applications out every day. Leave applications, just throw your basket out there. But before you actually throw them out, make sure your CV is good, make sure your cover letter is proper, because you'll be applying to a lot of companies. Trust me, you lose track of what CV you sent to what company, because your CV evolves with time. With whatever additional information you get, you tweak it here and there. So with whatever CV you send to a company, please put that CV description that this was for this company and add a date to it, and put that in a folder. Save that, save all the CVs, because if you so happen to get an interview offer, it just makes your life a whole lot easier when you can refer back to the CV you put, so that if they give you a call, you can refer back and be like, okay, I told them about this, I'll have more about this. That will help you prepare a lot. This leads me to my fifth point, is strategize your applications. In addition to sending applications out every day, strategize. Like I told you in my story earlier, in addition to applying for the usual job ads, jobs that are advertised on the normal job ads sites here in South Africa, we have a place called Indeed, or even LinkedIn as well, where they advertise jobs. Try to approach companies, go on their website, go in the contact us, and if they have career section, usually on their websites, there is a higher chance of you getting a response back as compared to if it's a general purpose kind of thing. Another platform that you can make use of is LinkedIn. In addition to seeing the jobs that LinkedIn advertises or companies advertise on LinkedIn, if you see someone in your field or in the company that you'd like to join, send them a polite email, introduce yourself, tell them what your experience is, what your skill set is. Most times, if you've just finished college, you don't have that much experience, but highlight all the projects you've done before, which helps in that personal project that outside of school that you'll have undertaken. It can take even more. That's perfect. Just tell them what you've done, what your skill set is, and just put across your interest to join the company in a graduate position, intern position. Most times, even though you don't get a positive response, you can get okay, we'll put your CV on the side, check back to you. There's openings for people to come in. It's always better when you're looking for employment, if you don't have connections, try to look for a personal touch. Whoever can get your CV personally, and you can refer to that person personally, and they tell you the reason why or why not, it helps put your prospects a whole lot higher. Another thing they don't tell you, before I forget, is you actually have to prepare for those interviews a lot. You have to study like you're studying for an exam, especially in the software field or a lot of jobs. You have to put your best foot forward. Study. You'd rather put your best foot forward, and if you're rejected for some other reason, at least you know you gave it your best. Some jobs actually require you to write exams, tests, left, right, and center. So get yourself ready, do a lot of practice tests, That's what YouTube is there for. You actually did one. If you're in the software development realm and interested in learning how to prepare for an interview, I'll put a card I think somewhere here or there so that you can get into that and see how to prepare. Alright guys, I know this has been quite long, but I hope you found it useful, because that's the whole thing with the job world. You have to show off that you're actually worth the investment of the company taking you on. You have to show off your skills. You have to prepare a lot. You have to get your CV ready. You have to get your outfits ready. You have to get mentally, physically, emotionally ready for this process, because it's brutal. It's not very fun. It's not fun at all, actually. It is harsh, but after you come out of it, you've got your job, everything will be worth it. You'll have built a lot of resilience. You'll have built a lot of push, and it actually helps you discover what you really have passion for, because if you send out at least 100 CVs, you must have a passion for something. Otherwise guys, that is it for me for now. But before I end this video, I actually, since I live in Cape Town, I did a tour. For the first time I actually went around the Greenpoint area, so I'll leave that towards the end of this video and maybe give you some photos that I took as well at the end. Otherwise, if you have anything or any questions or videos that you want me to make, or if you have any topics that you want me to clarify or make videos about, please leave them in the comment section down below. Leave a like on this video, share it with your friends who might find this useful. And yes, that is it for me for now. Let me leave you with what I got up to yesterday on Saturday. I had a good meal and experienced Cape Town, trying to go out more. But yes, that is it for me for now guys. Have a good rest of your day or week or night. Yes, peace.